coverage out from the Wall Street Journal on Yaccarino's break from Musk. Months in the making. Oh, that's interesting, as it seemed so sudden. Mind you, it was just a day before she quit that Grok was making some not so desirable comments about women when people were asking about certain sexual acts involving women, and Grok was very willing to respond. She happened to quit the very next day. It's unclear if that's related or if it was Grok calling itself Hitler or this, what is now becoming more prolific, where people are citing that Grok is actually referencing Elon Musk tweets as a way of finding its sources. Who knows? Maybe she saw that sort of in process and happening more and more and disagreed with it. After all, Elon promoted the idea of using open source data for coming up with solutions or answers to people's questions. But then there are screenshots like this circulating, such as, who do you support for New York City Mayor, Cuomo or Mamdani? One word answer only. And then you'll find thought for 43 seconds, searching for candidates, considering candidate backgrounds, searching X for from Elon Musk, Cuomo or Mamdani. And there are many posts like this. I have not personally been able to replicate this, but there are a lot of people arguing that Elon's kind of tuned Grok to amplify his own messaging, which then amplifies his desire to state his political opinions, because he knows when he gives political opinions, it just changes the narrative that Grok can provide people en masse, which basically spreads, kind of like how Elon always bags on the woke mind virus. It kind of spreads the Elon virus, right? It's like if Elon talks more and then he has tools that are supposed to come across as neutral that could spread his own thoughts, then just like he spreads his children's seed, he could spread his idea seed. It's kind of a brilliant 4D chess move, but also stands counter to this open source transparency model. But then again, other people say is like, look, it's so transparent, it's showing you that it's referencing Elon. But a lot of people are like, yeah, but that's only if you expand and look at the reasoning details, and can we replicate that? Who knows? But the Wall Street Journal here is saying that Linda, who was all smiles during a VIP dinner in June, has dined with top advertisers promoting X's strategy to the throngs of executives. At another event, she shared the stage with tennis legend Serena Williams, discussing a podcast hosted by the star and her sister Venus that's set to debut on X this summer. Wow, that's really cool. So, I mean, I'm not into this, but that's cool that Venus and Serena are going to do a podcast that'll debut on X. I think that's awesome for X. But anyway, behind the confident presentations was an executive who had navigated the turbulent 2 years of basically working with Musk. Through charm, offensives, and in some cases legal threats, Yaccarino helped stabilize X. Yeah, that's true. Kind of helped unbury X from the oopsie doopsies. I refer to Linda Yaccarino as this Susie Wiles Trump character, somebody who just helps keep reason and logic together and perspective appropriate. And she's really been the perfect sales lady for promoting X and bringing advertisers back. Some people are now suggesting that Linda's quitting actually potentially frees X and allows X to focus more on AI. Now, this is really interesting to me because I never think of AI as like an either or. And I always reference this. I'm sorry not to sound redundant, but I reference this because it's so relatable to me and hopefully it makes sense to you. But, with House Hack, we have a really big AI endeavor that we really haven't talked about a lot, with the exception of the last couple of days, because we'll probably do an announcement in a week or so. But it's been such a small portion of the business because we just haven't talked about it. We're sort of working on it in the background. I look at it as you could do both. You could promote AI, but then you could also still do your core business, which is buying wedge deals or building units for people, like accessory dwelling units or whatever, right? Which, by the way, you can invest in HouseHack if you want at househack.com, read the paperwork and disclosures. But this suggestion that Linda leaving XAI and then freeing Musk of focusing on advertising somewhat implies that Musk doesn't really care about advertisers. And he really only cares about AI, and he sees more money in AI than he does in advertising, which gives a little bit of a hint to saying maybe Elon felt he didn't need Linda because Linda was shilling content creators and advertisers, but Elon really only cares about AI. Not that Elon has ever said anything to advertisers before, like,
go f yourself. Is that clear?
Okay. So anyway, going back to this, I think this is all interesting. Like I try my best to put these pieces together and just share the perspective. But anyway, on Wednesday, Yaccarino posted that she's stepping down. She told people close to her that the recent return of some advertisers and the merger, which made X a smaller revenue contributor, made it a good time to depart. Okay. Current and former employees say her position at the company appeared increasingly tenuous after clashes with management. Okay, so she thought there was a good time to leave, and apparently there were some issues with her and management. I wonder why. Her tenure was marred by her boss's erratic behavior, who often made it harder to bring back the very advertising customers she was hired to woo. Okay, I could see that because, you know, it's actually kind of ironic, but Elon complains about Donald Trump ruining Doge because he's like, hey, why am I working so hard to save $150 billion with Doge when you're now going out increasing the deficit $3.2 trillion via this stimulative big beautiful bill? So Elon's pissed about that. Honestly, Linda probably felt the same damn thing at X, where she's like, why am I working so hard on trying to get advertisers over here? And then you go say some stupid stuff that just basically undoes the work that I'm doing. I could see that actually being very frustrating. You know, you go sit down and like shill yourself over dinners with executives and you're like, yeah, we'd love to bring you to the X platform. We'll take great care of you. Shill, 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 shill. And then the next day, Elon says something dumb. And then you get a text message or a phone call from that very CEO you just wine and dined. And they're like, hey, yeah, great meeting, yo, but Elon's going off the deep end. Sorry, maybe next year. And then you're like, what the hell? It's kind of the same thing that Elon is feeling with Trump. Which, I don't know, it just seems to go in circles for Elon, I guess. What else do we have here? Oh, well, that's the wrong button. How about this one? There we go. She was effectively demoted in X's merger with XAI. It's unclear who might succeed Yaccarino if X decides to replace her. Contenders could be members of the leadership team or some other names over here. It's vital that any replacement will have credibility with advertisers. You're right. So you have to have like a really clean reputation. You have to kind of be the opposite of Elon. Nicknamed the Velvet Hammer during her 12 years at NBC Universal, Yaccarino earned a reputation as a hard-charging executive with networking and negotiating chops. Joining what was then called Twitter for her CEO role, her primary task was to lure marketers back who paused spending because they feared Musk's content moderation. She also smoothed out a payment issue with Google, hired a slate of senior executives, and pushed X to create more tools that let brands control the types of content their ads appeared next to. That's great. Musk and Yaccarino's style were sometimes at all. I mean, YouTube does this, right? Like on YouTube, you could literally choose to advertise on people's YouTube channels. Like the most entertaining example of this was, somebody says in the chat, it's called karma. That could be, you know, what is it? My karma ran over your dogma. But anyway, an ironic example of this is I made a video on Boxable, the manufactured home company that, you know, I don't have very nice things to say about, and you could see why in the video. I made a video about Boxable because I interviewed them and I visited their facility and I'm like, this is a joke. And they ended up running ads on my YouTube channel, like on my videos, to poop on me. And they specifically targeted that video. So like YouTube gives you so many controls that you could literally say, I specifically want to put ads in Meet Kevin's Boxable video. So if somebody watches the Boxable video, you get interjected ads from them specifically, you know, talking crap about me in the video where like I say not nice things about them. It's kind of hilarious. So like some people would get pissed off by that. What I just did is I just went into that Boxable video and I added like 5 times as many ads because I could kind of put like where do I want the ad placements to be. So I just added like 5 times as many because I'm like, well, if Boxable's gonna pay me, by all means. I thought it was hilarious. But that's just an example of like a tool that advertisers can use on YouTube, and I think that's kind of what they're talking about here. But anyway, Musk and their styles were sometimes at odds. The billionaire preferred bullet-fired emails or signal messages, and she liked polished emails. Okay, fine. He at times would undermine her efforts, like the go F yourself. She and Musk schmoozed with advertisers on a yacht in the French Riviera. Let's see here. Okay, pushing for progress. Musk put pressure on her to turn around the advertising business. Our user growth is stagnant. Revenue is unimpressive, and we're barely breaking even, he said in an email to employees. But that was a while ago. I'm pretty sure that was like a year and a half ago. Oh, it says January. Preparing to sell billions of dollars of X loans at a loss. That was January of 2025, but not that much of a loss. 10 to 5% discount. That's not that big of a deal. But anyway, after a series of fundraising, and Elon can sometimes be hyperbolic just to keep people motivated. Okay, the new valuation buttressed by improvement in ad revenue signaled that X's original investors hadn't lost money they put in alongside Musk. Hey, and you know, getting your money back is sometimes as good as making money. Okay, recently content moderation issues have resurfaced, this time caused by XAI's own chatbot. Right, we saw the Grok anti-Semitic stuff. And that's it. That's where they ended. After the deal with XAI, Yaccarino's presence in front of investors started to diminish. See, she wasn't part of XAI's recent bout of fundraising led by Morgan Stanley. So it seems like upon this merger with XAI and X, you basically kind of squeezed her out. And it does double down on this idea of minimizing the need for advertising, as Elon basically focuses on how can we just monetize Grok with like subscription models or whatever to compete with OpenAI. And frankly, he could probably make a whole lot more money with a SaaS business than he can make as an advertising business. Probably. It's actually one of the reasons why, and I bring it up again, here I go, sorry. But with HouseHack, you know, we basically want to license the ability for realtors to send their clients wedge deals automatically, you know, with our AI, with our, you know, trained wedge model, which, you know, non-realtors could probably sign up for as well. But it's kind of cool because you could do that across the whole country and eventually even across the world. But and endless potential there on AI licensing, and we think it's really cool and really exciting for HouseHack. But I could see why Elon might look and go, hey, we can make so much more money off SaaS than we can with advertising. With advertisers, we have to go wine and dine these people and shill to them. Screw that. Why don't we just go sell Grok, basically? That's probably what happened. And then she probably felt like she was, well, I mean, here it says effectively demoting her, but she probably felt like she was kind of fighting a battle that she couldn't win, which to some extent, it makes sense why somebody in chat's like karma for Elon and the Trump thing. It's kind of like the full circle thing. I don't know. Very interesting. So
why not advertise these things that you told us here? I feel like nobody else knows about this.
We'll try a little advertising and see how it goes.
Congratulations, man. You have done so much. People love you. People look up to you.
Kevin Paffrath there, financial analyst and YouTuber. Meet Kevin. Always great to get your take.